Yo, 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 yo. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's get started. If I just figure out how to turn off the background music. All right, let's stop this one for now. All right, all right, all right. Hello, everybody. And sorry about the last minute update. I was trying to do a video and I was just like, let's just do this live. And then if we need to cut a video later on, we can cut that video later on. No problem. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to present you something that I've been working on for quite some time, and that a lot of you after Angular TinyConf have asked me about, So you are free to chat directly on Twitter on my profile, or to do a chat on YouTube, and just make sure that everything you guys are able to hear me well. And then I'm going to start the presentation in about 5 minutes, just giving people like a couple of minutes to join. All right. So let's see. So I don't know. A lot of you who have requested this have been trying to build like cool interfaces in Angular. And then ShadCn has been one of like the hardest interface or component like library out there, but unfortunately it has been very hard for Angular people to get a hold of it until recently, when Spartan UI, that has been led by Robin Guts, like has come and like gave us a way to use those components. But then I showed like how those components will look, and wanting to have a very easy, intuitive way of getting it going. And I got you guys. I got a generator that I created with NX that is going to allow you right now, today, in an existing NX Angular workspace, to have to start building those with those UI components. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty, so let me see on the comments. Feel free to add a comment on YouTube or on Twitter. So here, hello. And then we can take it from there, all right? So let me go ahead and show you what we're gonna build today, how to build it real quick, and what we're gonna build today. So as I was saying, for those of you who know me already, I am a D, and I'm very passionate about Angular, and I've been building Mantis with the help of very excellent people who have been like giving most of their time to help me with this. And Mantis stands for like MongoDB Angular, actually analog, because we're using analog as our client, side, composition side. So MongoDB analog, next NX, which is like the engine, Tailwind, CSS, Ionic, and Storybook. Okay, and then basically we wanted to have a UI on top of that, and that UI is Mantis UI, that we are just calling like Maui. And then just to be sure we're not talking about any other type of Maui, we can have a suffix of Maui NG. And what does Maui allow you to build with Angular is like user interfaces like this one, so dashboard, accordion, and everything else. And if you want to see a live Maui type of interaction, here I have a build of Mantis UI that is using those things. And then as you can see, you can change the theme, you can change the color mode, all of the stuffs are already built into this library. Okay, so now that is something that we've been playing with internally, and then the effort has been, what do we do now to make sure that you guys have like can start playing with it as well. Okay. And for those of you who are watching, please just like give a quick comment or something, just so I know that you are following along. And if you have any questions, like, let me know. So quickly, what we're going to do, let me put a little more screen space here for the UI. So we're going to be building something like this, but in order for you to do that, there's a lot of steps involved. For Maui to happen, which is once again like Mantis Tech UI, we rely essentially on the Spartan UI here that you can find like at Spartan NG. And mostly we rely on the Spartan UI and the components library that they have in here, which is following what is being done, with ShadCn. So now there are a lot of steps involved in order to get it going. And what we have done is we have created a generator that does all of those steps for you. So it will add like a Spartan UI into your workspace. It will add like the Maui component, which are like very intuitive, very easy to compose with. It will add Tailwind CSS. It will make sure that your tsconfig file is properly set. And there are a couple kinks that are in there that you can get done pretty quickly, and then you can start like playing with this UI. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a Maui demo, and then this is basically an empty or a brand new NX workspace. So this is an NX workspace that have been created, and you see that it's at like Angular 18 version right now, and then we have like the NX version at Angular at NX 19. So the latest and greatest. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add Maui to this. For right now, if we just go to the demo page, we just have like the NX welcome component here, which is welcome Maui demo. And then the goal here is how we're gonna be able to build something like this. Okay. So in order to do this, we would have to go to Spartan, get the components, and then make sure that we have a lot of little things taken care of, and then being able to start playing with those. But let's go to our Maui demo here. And what I want you to focus on is we have like the state of these files, because there's a lot of things that are going to happen. The package JSON is your typical package JSON after you have run like NX create new workspace. The tsconfig base is very standard right now. There's nothing in the style CSS, and then there's nothing not much in the index.html. So let's focus on those 4 files after we run our generator. So like I said, if you go to, we have published like Mantis Tech Maui. It was published 2 days ago, and there's already like 111 downloads. I don't know who's downloading this, but they are very, very early adopters. It's at version 0.02, so there's a lot of little things we need to iron out. And as of today, I'm the only one contributing on it, as you can imagine. So we need people to come and help us with this. But what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and then copy the command npm I Mantis Tech Maui. So that's going to be our first step. So let's just go back to our generator, now to our demo here. So in our demo, let's open the terminal. Okay. And so here we have our localhost 4200, and then we want to go ahead and generate Maui lib here. So first thing first, let me go ahead and just install Mantis Tech Maui, and it should go pretty quickly. So let's just get that to run real quick. And while it's running, let's see, it should go pretty quickly. Let's just wait it out. So like I said, the focus for us is going to be what is going to happen? So the steps are basically, in order for these components to work, you have to have Spartan UI present. You have to have like the Maui components, which is like a layer on top of the Spartan UI. You have to have Tailwind CSS that is going to be installed. And on top of Tailwind CSS, you have to have the wiring with your index HTML and all of those little things. So that's a lot of little steps. And then on top of it, there are a couple bugs that were introduced by a new version of NGNeat that Spartan is dependent on. I have raised a ticket for it. I mean, actually, I have raised the issue for it, but I'll show you quickly how to fix that. So I'm not sure why this is taking so long. So technically, that should be a quick npm install, but I wanted to show you live, like, how without without cheating. So to be okay, so let's see, what does it say? Okay, we have a daemon process. I have never seen this before. So let me see if nx is running. So let's just do nx reset. Okay, we have nx running. Let's do a quick cleanup here. And let's install npm I Mantis Maui. So that should just be that. So I'm not sure why I'm having a daemon or daemon. I don't know how you call this thing. So, but let's just make sure that it's running. Okay, there you go. So you see, the second time is the charm here. So we have Mantis Maui, and then if we do npm ls at Mantis Maui for Mantis UI, we should have it here at 0.02. So now that we have that, what we're going to do is we're going to run the generator, okay? So all you have to do now to run the generator, you will do something like this. Let me just change a couple things in the top here. Where's my option key? So this is all you're going to need to have this running in your workspace. So let's do npx nx generate, G for generate, Mantis Maui, and then the main generator. We have two generators right now. We have the Maui generator, which is going to put the Maui files. And then we do have like the Tailwind CSS generator, but those are going to like run in tandem, almost in tandem, if I can put it that way. So here at the end, we add Maui. Okay. So before running that, we just have apps in this workspace. We don't have any libs. So what is it going to do? It's going to create a lib folder, and it's going to have the Maui folder in there, and then it's going to do all the wiring that you would have done like manually, for you, right there for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and just get this running. And usually I will say like do a dry run first, but for the sake of time, let's just go ahead and cross our fingers and just say like, okay, let's go for it. So you see, it's going to ask us which project we want to update with Mantis UI configurations. And here we want it to target Maui demo, which is our main app. I don't know why we would target end to end, but this is at version 0.02. So be patient with us. So we say we want to target Maui demo. And let's do this. So for now, and let me put the terminal on the right side here. And you're going to see that a few things are going to start to happen in the package JSON. So you see now, let me close this. After it did all of that, it's going to go through the Tailwind steps. So it added a few things here, and I'm going to go through that like little by little, step by step. But here now it's asking us, do we want like dark mode, or do we want like a light mode? So let's go with the dark mode as default. And then let's go, since Mantis like team, the default team is a team green. Let's go with team green, but you have those 5 teams that are available to you: blue, red, team, orange, and zinc. And then you can choose it for any of your apps. So basically now what I'm going to do is say, okay, let's go with team green. And then what it's going to do, you see, it's going to create a tailwind config for you. It's going to update your style CSS, and now after it has done that, it's going to go and start like putting together the Spartan UI. So the Spartan UI is like the baseline for Mantis. Anyway, Mantis UI, Maui. So I'm going to select all here. I want all of them. And so I don't have to pick and choose later on. So I want all of them. And then now it's going to copy all of those guys into my workspace, And you see here now in my TS config, first in my package JSON, Spartan has gone ahead and added like all of the different dependencies for the Spartan primitive. We have Streamlane charts that we're using for our charting library, and all of the dependencies, ng icon core, ng icon lucid, all of those are like here ready to go basically. And if we go to our TS config base, now the most important part is we have the pass. So the pass, and so this has been, let's say for now it's still like going, and then it's gonna be done pretty much soon. But in the meantime, you see that in the TS config here, we do have all of the paths referencing like the proper Spartan NGs, and then your app can reference like the Maui library just by having it as Mantis Tech Maui lib. Okay, so now we can get all of our components that are like there under Maui lib. And then there's a very important like helper message here. We're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna show you why we added this for now. For those of you who are early adopters, we're gonna get back to this like pretty quickly. Okay. So now we have that. And then if I go now to my style CSS that I showed you earlier, it went ahead. This line is very important because if you don't have it, there are some things that are not going to work visually right for the Spartan UI. You have your Tailwind CSS imports, and then you have your green theme that we have here, which are like based on the ShadCn color scheme. And we do have like the regular green theme and the dark green theme. Okay. Now, to the index HTML file, on the HTML tag, we have added like these classes, and you see that it takes the theme too. And then on the body, we have the BG background, and then we have like the color mode. So all of that was generated by the Maui, the Mantis Tech Maui generated. All of those little steps in between have been just abstracted for you. And then there's another file that is very important that has been created. If I go now inside of Maui demo, I have a Tailwind config.js that has been created. And then the Tailwind config.js, you see that here has put like all of the things that are needed, like the presets required, all of the things needed. And by default, Tailwind doesn't have an excess size. We have added it here. You can, of course, come and add like your size and extend your team and all that kind of stuff. So all of those things have been like added for you just after running this command. But here, one thing that we are not able to do yet with the NX generator is adding overrides to the package JSON, because we saw that there were some parts that needed to be overridden. So the Spartan ng UI command brain, because of ng need overview. So we were trying to add that to the generator, but we did not find a clean way of doing it. So for now, we probably gonna have to need to add it manually into our package JSON. But before we do that, and let me just copy this for now, because I'll show you where it's gonna be very important for us. Let me copy this. let me expand on our terminal here. And let's go ahead and let's give us some space. So now that we have that, um, we wanna build something that will allow us to have that UI we've been talking about, which is exactly this UI right here. Okay, how do we build something like this? And then mostly this part here, this layout, actually, to be very clear, we're gonna go after this layout right here, where we have these 6 charts, and these 7 charts, well represented here. But as you can see, all of this is inside of Angular. So if you are interested into how to build these things, now you can, with this new capabilities. Okay, so now let's go back to our VS Code, and just to make sure that I'm in the right space. Okay, right here. So if we go to our app component TS file, okay. So if we go to our app component TS file, we have now the default like import NX welcome component. But as we saw, and let me pin this since we're going to be using it a lot. Let me just pin it somewhere. Yeah, let's pin it. All right. Okay, let's pin it and let's put it like right here. All right. So now that we have this, I want to be able to build on the TS config base is telling me when I need the Maui components, they are going to be in here. And look at this. So I did not show you the lib. So the lib has been built as Maui, and inside of Maui, you have a lib that have your components. So this is the layer that we added on top of what the Spartan UI. So the Spartan UI is here with all the primitives that you need that are like currently available with the Spartan UI, from the accordion to all the way down to like the typography. They are all here, okay? And then in our components, we have like the layer we put on top of it, and then we're using things like this in order to make it a little easier for you to come and then like play with this stuff. So but what we're going to do, we don't need to show much code right now. What we're going to do, just to show you, all of this has been like built and generated by your NX generator, your Mantis Maui generator. So what we're going to do now is in our TS config, it's telling us that if you want to have access to the Maui components, you can just like have it referenced as Mantis Maui lib. So let's go into our app component, and then let's import just a couple things real quick. We're going to import now the card module. So the card has been the card components have been like put together as a module inside of Maui, and here to show you that we're going to have IntelliSense, let me even take this out, and I'm going to put from so this is trying to be a little too smart for me, from, and here let's put at Mantis Maui lib. Okay, now Mantis Maui lib, you see it's like going to the right reference, which is like the Maui lib folder index file. Okay, now here, as I start typing, I should have IntelliSense. If I do card, you see I have access to the card component. I want the card module. I want the button component. Let me go for button component. There you go. Now I have those, and those are almost all like we're using a standalone version of Angular here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add it to our imports. Okay. So if I add it to my import, I can add the card module and the button component. All right. So adding the card module and the button component, let me save this. And here, instead of going to app component HTML, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just turn it into a template. And there you go. So I'm going to turn this into a template. Okay. Now, I'm going to copy over. Let me go to here. I'm going to copy over some markup and I'm going to explain to you because I'm the slowest typer ever. So let's go to here and then let's paste this into our template. Okay. So basically, now that we have the card module, that's one of those like what we call like the composite components. Since it is a lot of pieces, we put it into a module, but the card module gives you access to the card itself, the card header, card title, card description, and so forth and so on, you know. And let's fix the alignment real quick. Okay. So now we have that. And then what I like about it too is you are not limited with your classes. This is using Tailwind CSS. Here we are saying for the entire card to use to have like a padding of like 8, which is 2 rem, and a max width of like 400 pixels. So let's just run it as is. So if I just do this, and now if I go back to my Maui demo, let's um, let's refresh it, and then you see we had an error here, and that's why we had that overrides that we needed. Okay, so I told you like we're gonna need that. We put it into the generator right now because NX doesn't allow us to add like that override piece. So let's go back, and in here we're gonna see the error in where it was running, and you see that. Let's see, could not resolve Tailwind CSS. So the thing is here, the main error here is that we have this import must be an array of component directive. It comes from some of the, what is it called? The command component in what is it called? In Spartan UI. So what we're going to do in the package JSON, we have our dependencies, we have our dev dependencies, and then here we're going to add, I lost, I have to go find my override somewhere else. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to go to my package JSON in our main project. And I think I have the override there too. So bear with me a quick second. Yeah, so this override is needed. So let's copy this. Okay. And let me go back to our package JSON here and add this override. So there is something with the new version of ngneat, and this is going to be needed in order for this. If you have a brand new project, if you have ngneat 5, you might not have this error. But if you have a brand new workspace that is going to be using ngneat at this version, you might have to do this fix right now. But yeah, we are like, making sure that we're taking care of all the kinks. So when we do this, that kind of like did a chain thing that like did a lot of little stuff. So let's go ahead and just stop this and just do an npm I. So the overrides are going to be taken care of. And hopefully this time the npmi is not going to take too long, but I wanted to show you like in real time. So let me take that out and let's do an nx run again for Maui demo serve, and we might have one more error that is going to come that is related to ngneat again, but that's just like because, so you see now it's going to run and then boom, this error comes again. So this error, the dynamic view module, what happened is ngneat, the new version, the 6 and beyond, is not using dynamic view module anymore. They have a breaking change and they're using the dynamic view directive. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward to fix. It has to be fixed at the Spartan UI if you're going to use the new nginit. But in the meantime, what you could do from here, I can just like come and click on this and it's going to open the MGS file. Okay. When it opens the MGS file, I have this instance of dynamic view module, so let me just find them, Command F. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change dynamic view module to dynamic view directive. Okay. So let's do that. Let me copy this, Command copy. And then let's go to the other instance. We are in an MGS file. So this is the compile file. So what I'm going to do is here, this instance where it was saying that it's an ng module, you don't need it anymore. You will take it out. And last but not least, you come back here where it's doing the imports, and instead of importing a dynamic view module, you're going to put in a dynamic view directive. So in the meantime, that's the fix that you have, unless you can like fix it directly. I have raised an issue with Spartan, and then and I even asked Robin to assign the ticket to me. So as soon as he verifies that it's a valid issue and everything like that, we'll have a fix for it at the Spartan UI level, and then you should not have to go through this anymore. So after doing this, we should be good to go now. So if I go back here, you see it just stops the entire execution. So I'm going to have to do Control C, and then now I'm going to do the serve again. All right. So after doing the serve, I'm not getting any errors here. So, and when I go, so the thing that we were looking at was the card module. So when we come back here, there you go. You see now we have the card module. Basically, if you go to, we did not do any much with the typography, but we have the card module now. That is like in our, wherever we had our NX welcome component, we now have the card module going on. And then, like I told you, this is Tailwind at the end of the day. So what can we do? We can come here. Let me take in this entire card module, or like this card container. And let me just do something like div class equals, I think if you do container, there's a container class in Tailwind. I can do div class container. Okay. And let's take this and wrap it around the card. Okay. And there we go. So we have that. And when I come back here, when I come back to Google Chrome, you see that now it has pushed it here. Now let me add a little margin. So here I have a class container, and then let's just add some margin top of PY, and let's just do PY6. Okay. All right. And now you see we have a little space around the card. And last but not least, you have control over the card component, where here we had like P8 and the width of 400. Let me change this to width full. If we do width full, you see now that like the card is taking the entire width of your space. So you right there have now all of the components that we have We don't have the full list. We have about maybe 10 or 11 components that we have put into Maui. But you do have Maui and Spartan like next to each other. You can change, you can use them interchangeably, like however you want. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing building blocks, just like ShadCn, and pages. So you will be able to generate this type of pages, like, pretty quickly and get like a good starting point. So now, let's build the graph, because one of the thing was too, when we started this, we just got into when ShadCn themselves, or Shatson, that's how I think like you say the name. Shatson was trying to explore like graphs into the library, and I was like, okay, let's just jump on that train and start to see like if we can start creating some graphs too. And you saw that here with swim lane charts, we are able to pretty much do a lot of cool stuff with it. And last time during TinyConf, with the help of Shao, we were even able to get like this gauge chart and stuff like that. So I want to show you that you have access to all of that right now. The moment that you are able to have the generator run and target your app, you can now have a page like this. So what we're gonna do is, of course, you're not gonna watch me uh, type all of this. I'm gonna go to, let's say, where is this, in the Mantis UI? Maybe that's where I have all of this. Man, I don't even know my workspace anymore. Yeah, the Mantis UI. So in the Mantis UI, I had the dashboard demo page, demo chart page. Okay, and there's a lot of things happening in here. So um, everything that you see that is here, you already have access to it. You only don't have access to Faker because we don't have it yet. So what is the how is this page built? We are importing here. It's in our internal demo. It's called like Mantis UI, but you saw that it's called Mantis Maui lib in the generated one. So here you have the card module, and then you have access to all these charts, vertical bar chart, group chart, and everything. And what are we doing? We're importing them, and then we have a template here. But what is more important too is the data. So the data for the swimlane chart is pretty straightforward. So we're using a signal here, and then for the multi-bar chart data, we're using still a signal with multi. And then we have this helper function to create a bar chart. Basically, it's just returning this function, this faker. We're repeating faker over and over and over again. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to copy all of this, because if I'm going to type like each line, we're going to be here until tomorrow. So let me just copy all of this, and go into our new project, which is the Maui demo project, which is right here. Okay. So this was our app component. I'm going to pretty much take all of it, delete it, and then paste this. Okay. So after painting this, there's a few things that I need to do though. You see that there are a lot of things that are not right, because first thing first, it's looking for Mantis Maui. And the thing is, the right thing is Mantis Maui lib. Okay. Now, once we do that from Mantis Maui lib, okay, this one is good. Now let's correct, like we don't need the legend position here. So let's just get rid of it. We don't need that import, but we need faker. So for faker, I think if we go to npm faker, yeah, and just getting the last one. So yeah, this one. Okay, let's go back in here and let's install, let's open a new, yeah, and install faker here. All right. So let's go for faker. Oh, that should have been a dev dependency. So don't kill me for that. but this is just for a demo, but technically it should be part of your dev dependencies. So now I added Faker, okay? And when I come back here, this squiggly should go away. Okay, at some point it will go away, believe me. And now let's do a couple more things. Instead of demo short, let's just call it app root. And then here, our main TS file is going to be looking for app component. So let's just call it app component. Okay, I think now we have everything. You see, like the faker, the squiggly went away. We have, and if you want to see, if we just do, you see, if we just do a command hover, we see like exactly how we are implemented like the vertical bar chart. So you can go in there and then if you need to tweak a few stuff, but we're making it very easy for you to have intuitive names, compose this UI pretty quickly, and then focus on the logic of the UI, you know? Let us take care of the visual part and then you guys can take care of like the other stuff. So now we don't have any import issues. Our template is basically a repeat of what we saw. Here we're using the vertical bar chart. You know, when you select something, that's your event, and then you're passing in a chart data option, and then the options that you want to pass. All of those, let me collapse the template. All of those are here. We have a bar chart data, a multi-bar chart data. And then here for the gauge chart, we're using, we extending it by saying like, don't show the legend. We can do stuff like that, you know? And then we have a helper function that is creating the randomness of our bar chart data. And then we're doing the same thing for like the multi-bar chart data, okay? And then of course we're using with Signal we can do a lot of stuff. We're not gonna go through that today. But now that we have that and we save it, so and to just make sure we are in Maui demo that like a few minutes ago did not have Spartan UI, did not know about Maui, did not have Tailwind CSS and all of that kind of stuff. We are able to do this. And when I save it and I go back to my project, drum roll. So here, Maui demo, when we come back, let's give it a second. Come on, buddy. That's your big moment. Wow, boom. You see? Now we have that. And it's respecting like our dark color mode. You know, we have like our 7 charts. But I told you we're going to recreate the same thing. So if we look here, we have 3 columns, not 2. So let's go back to just to show you. Let's go back to Maui demo. And in here, in the template, here we have the large grid calls at 2. Since it's just Tailwind, we can just change it to large grid call at 3. And if I save this, coming back here, now we have, no, that's not this one. This is Maui demo. When we come back here and we refresh this, did I save it? It should be, let's see, command minus, okay. Let's see what is happening. Did I save it? App component, large grid 3, command S, okay. So let's go back here. Yep. So Maui demo now you see has like, 3 columns in a grid format. And then you see you have access to all of those charts. So right now, all the charts that you see are the one we have. We're going to keep on adding more to them. So we have a few components, but the goal is to add more and more component to this. So I think that's all I had for you today. It was like to show you really quickly. The most important part is you can in an existing like NX workspace, you can go ahead and then get this package, which is Mantis Tech Maui. which is at version 0.02 right now. And with that, you can just run it as your normal generators with like NX Generate. And then we have two generators, Maui or Tailwind CSS. But if you just go with Maui, it's going to go ahead, check if that project that you're targeting already have Tailwind CSS installed or not, and do all the proper installation, like, step for you. So once you have that done, you basically now can go into your app and start like querying. And that's very important here. When you in your app, you are querying Mantis Tech Maui lib, because if you just do Maui, that's the npm package, but you have to do Mantis Tech Maui lib, which will match what you have in your ts config base JSON. You can change it to whatever you want later on, but all of the references are going to be here. Okay, so that's that. That's introducing Maui Mantis UI to the world. We need contributors. We need like guidance. What do you guys want to see? What do you want us to focus on? Come. The GitHub project is live. It's public. You can go and start helping us. I'll add a little more stuff in there. It's a very empty repository when it comes to guideline and stuff. But if you are interested in coming and helping us build, help the rest of the Angular community build beautiful interface with like Maui, so please come and give us some help. So that's what I had for you today. And yeah, we'll take it to Twitter and YouTube and see if there are like some comments, and then we can take it from there. Thank you, guys and girls, and anybody who joined. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So, oh, 500. Thank you. Can get in touch. And thank you.